Hello Seekers, in this video we'll be talking about the vagus nerve or vagus nerve and why keeping it healthy is crucial. If you've seen my TikTok about the vagus nerve, I believe I was mispronouncing it as it should be vagus nerve. I think it stems from the fact that when referring to the overall health of the vagus nerve, you say vagal tone, and thus I said vagus nerve. Anyways, there is a lot of anatomical jargon, so I'll keep these videos short so they're a little easier to digest. So without further ado, let's get into the video, Seekers. So what is the vagus nerve? The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in the body and an important part of the parasympathetic nervous system. It is the 10th cranial nerve, extending from its origin in the brainstem through the neck and the thorax down to the abdomen. It connects many organs such as the brain, heart, liver, and gut, and is one of the most important centers for bidirectional communication between the brain and body. Because of its long path through the human body, it has also been described as the wanderer nerve. Vega in Latin also means to wander. The vagus nerve represents the main component of the parasympathetic nervous system, which oversees a vast array of crucial bodily functions, including control of mood, immune response, digestion, gut health, heart rate, breathing, speech, swallowing, blood pressure, hearing, taste, circulation, bladder movements, orgasms, and fertility. It establishes one of the connections between the brain and the gastrointestinal tract and sends information about the state of the inner organs to the brain via afferent fibers. The vagus nerve carries an extensive range of signals from the digestive system and organs to the brain and vice versa. In the neck, the vagus nerve provides required innervation to most of the muscles of the pharynx and the larynx, which are responsible for swallowing and vocalization. In the thorax, it provides the main parasympathetic supply to the heart and stimulates a reduction in the heart rate. In the intestines, the vagus nerve regulates the contraction of smooth muscles and glandular secretion. The most important function of the vagus nerve is afferent, meaning bringing information of the inner organs such as gut, liver, heart, and lungs to the brain. This suggests that the inner organs are a major source of sensory information to the brain. The gut as the largest surface towards the outer world and might therefore be a particularly important sensory organ. It is estimated that the human enteric nervous system contains about 100 to 500 million neurons. This is the largest accumulation of nerve cells in the human body. Since the ENS is similar to the brain regarding structure, function, and chemical coding, it has been described as the second brain, or the brain within the gut. The ENS serves as an intestinal barrier and regulates the major enteric processes, such as immune response, detecting nutrients, motility, microvascular circulation, and epithelial secretion of fluids, ions, and bioactive peptids. Interaction of ENS and the vagal nerve as a part of the CNS leads to a bidirectional flow of information. Now, why is this of immense importance? The bidirectional communication between the brain and the gastrointestinal tract, the brain-gut axis, is becoming increasingly important as a therapeutic target for gastrointestinal and psychiatric disorders, such as inflammatory bowel disease, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. The gut is an important control center of the immune system, and the vagus nerve has immunomodulatory properties. As a result, this nerve plays important roles in the relationship between the gut, the brain, and inflammation. There are new treatment options for modulating the brain-gut axis, for example, vagus nerve stimulation and meditation techniques. The These treatments have been shown to be beneficial in mood and anxiety disorders, but also in other conditions associated with increased inflammation. In particular, gut-directed hypnotherapy was shown to be effective in both irritable bowel syndrome and IBD. Finally, the vagus nerve also represents an important link between nutrition, psychiatric, neurological, and inflammatory diseases. A healthy vagus nerve allows us to better access the parts of our brain responsible for creativity, higher cognition, and complex decision-making. In the absence of a healthy vagus nerve, we only have access to the parts of our brain that control our primal instincts like fear and our fight or flight response. The functioning of the vagus nerve can be impaired by stress, anxiety, smoking, drinking alcohol, overworking, as well as a lack of exercise, proper nutrition, and sleep. In part 2, we'll cover in detail the natural ways that you can go about every day to stimulate your vagus nerve, begin healing it or simply strengthening it, and increase your overall vagal tone. If you don't want to wait, I covered some methods that you can utilize right now in my TikTok regarding the vagus nerve. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video, Seekers. Lak'ech and Namaste.